People ask me all the time, Bladen, what do you think happened before the Big Bang? I can't tell you. What I can tell you is that Keter is the first thing that existed after infinite nothingness decided to become something. And Kabbalists teach that if your consciousness ever reaches it, you've essentially merged with God and stopped being human. This is Keter, also known as the crown. It's the highest sephira on the tree of life, and it's the closest thing to God that can be conceptualized without dissolving back into the absolute void. Now here's the cosmology. Before creation, there was Ein Sof, infinite nothingness, God beyond God, so transcendent that it has no qualities, no form, and no existence. Ein Sof can't be known, thought about, or experienced directly. But then Ein Sof contracts. And this is called the divine contraction, God withdrawing himself to create space for something other than God to exist. And into that space, the first emanation appears. That's Keter, the crown, the first point of light in infinite darkness. Now Keter is where infinity becomes finite, where the unknowable becomes barely knowable, where nothing becomes the potential for everything. It's not God, it's the first expression of God that has any form whatsoever. Now Kabbalists describe Keter as pure will, not will to do something specific, but pure undirected will, the impulse to be. Before thought, before emotion, before any quality, there's just the raw drive for existence, and that is Keter. Now in the tree of life, Keter sits at the very top of the middle pillar, and everything below it emanates from it. All 9 other Sephiroth are expressions of Keter dividing itself into increasingly complex forms. Now here's what makes Keter incomprehensible. Even though it's the first Sephira, it's still hidden because it's part of the supernal triad. Keter, Chokmah, and Binah are the 3 Sephiroth above the abyss that exist in divine unity beyond human consciousness. And to reach Keter, that means crossing the abyss. And crossing the abyss means total ego death. You don't visit Keter as a person, you dissolve into Keter. Your individual consciousness merges back into the source point. Now in the Golden Dawn system, the grade associated with Keter is Ipsissimus, his very self. It's the 10th and final grade, the completion of the great work. And Ipsissimus has transcended all human limitation and operates as pure divine will incarnate. Now Aleister Crowley claimed to have attained Ipsissimus and union with Keter. He described it as total identification with the divine, with no separation between self and God because the self has been completely annihilated. Now in Jewish mysticism, Keter is associated with Ehyeh, I am, or I will be. And when Moses asked God for his name at the burning bush, God says, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, I am that I am. This is Keter speaking, pure being that requires no justification beyond its own existence. Now here's the paradox. Keter is the closest thing to nothingness that's still something. It's almost Ein Sof, almost the void, but it has just enough form to be the first thing. Reaching Keter means you're on the edge of existence itself, barely distinguishable from non-existence. Now some teachings say that Keter has 3 veils above it. Ein, which is nothing, Ein Sof, which is the infinite, and Ein Sof Or, which is infinite